Okay, boys, this is to the LA meetup. Successful meetup for Wofgang and Next Gen. Welcome to LA, guys.
Welcome to LA,
cheers.
Whoa, hold up. Are you boys even old enough to drink?
All right, what up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Happy Face Holdem. This is day 5 of our 5-day 3K Bankroll Staycation Challenge, and we are at Hustler Casino for the Meetup Game with Alex, Wofgang Poker, and Next Gen. Yep, they're all in the house. So I said one of my rules was going to be 2-5 the whole time, but I got to partake in this Meetup Game. 2-3, I think, with a 500 cap. We're going to buy in for 300 today. We're going to buy in a little bit short and run it up from there.
All right, let's get going here in the Meetup Game with our first hand, Queen 10 suited with 2 suited Broadway cards. We're definitely going to open the action. It folds around to the cutoff, who you've seen in a prior Meetup Game video. It's Rob from Less Stress Moving, and he wants to add some stress to this game and raises the action to 65 bucks. Folds back around to me, and I ponder this one. I don't like being out of position. Rob's a solid player, but typically a loose, aggressive action player, and he could be 3-betting light from the cutoff. So I decided to go with it. And on this one, I call the extra 45. We get a much less than desirable flop in this heads-up pot with Deuce, King, 8 rainbow. I suppose we flopped a backdoor flush and a backdoor straight, but we obviously play in flow and check. An all-in move, even though it's just a pot-sized bet, screams strength on such a dry board. I let this one go. And he shows us the goods. Pocket aces. Moving on, we're in the small blind in this one and look down at ace 10 offsuit. The low jack had raised and the cutoff called, so defending our small blind with a decent hand, we make the call and the big blind closes the action with a call behind us. 4 ways to a flop with $60 in the middle. We get a king, deuce, 8, 2 spade flop, and we check, being first to act in the small blind. Action checks around to the low jack, who continues his story for $30. This is a half pot-sized bet into 3 other players, so likely he has a solid spade draw, or at least the ace of spades, or connected with the king. And we just have to fold this one. Okay, off to a rough start and down to 121 in our stack, and we look down at the finest hand available and open the action to $20 from under the gun. Now this turns into a really fun hand, so stick with me. Action folds around to the button, who raises to 121 effective, essentially putting me all in. This is D-Gen, a friend of Think Blue Poker. Check him out on Instagram, he posts some great poker content. So back to me, obviously, I'm calling. I put the chips in, and here comes the fun part. Can my aces hold for the 19th straight consecutive time I've played them?
Let's go to a run out. It's a miracle! I didn't say that. It's a miracle. 4-5 straight? 4-5 straight?
It doesn't get much better than 4 aces. If he had the 4-5 of spades, we would have hit the bad beat jackpot, but he mucks his hand, he gets up from the table, and this is where we see him next, at the ATM. Action player. Thanks, D-Gen. In the cutoff now with pocket 7s after 1 limper to us, we bump the action to $20. Rob the mover in the big blind, of course, he's going to make the call, playing about a 97% VPIP today and absolutely crushing the table, sitting on about 1,200 at this point. Heads up, we go to a king, 10, jack, 2 diamond flop. Rob checks his option and flow, and I check behind on this wet board. No need to try and rep anything on this one with 3 overs and a straight, plus a flush draw on the board. I think any bet is getting called from any big blind defend. The turn comes the 9 of hearts, bringing in a second flush draw and puts a 4-liner to a straight out there. And this time Rob leads me for an over pot bet of $65. And I have no reason to stick around for this one, and muck.
We got Wofgang Poker in the house. How's it going, buddy? How you doing so far?
How's it going, Jack?
You good? How you doing so far?
We're down 100, but we're trying to pull some bluffs off. This guy called me with pocket 2s, so.
That was a good call. All right, he's the, what do you call it? A guest of honor.
Hey, you said it.
The host.
You said it.
The host.
Yeah.
He's the host. He's buying drinks. All right. Later, man. Frankie here with Next Gen at the Meetup Game. How you doing today so far?
It's been 20 minutes, and I'm already up 300. So it's going great so far. Yeah, the action here is amazing, and we're excited to be here. So.
Have you guys ever played in LA before?
No, never.
First time. Welcome.
First time in LA.
Thank you, LA. All right, guys. So we tried to buy the table a round of drinks. So we asked Rosie what he was drinking. Water. Water it is, my bud. Water it is.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, guys, he's really not this tall. I'm just down on one knee to be respectful of the host that traveled all the way from Texas to be here with us. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm 5'11", but with the hair, I'm 6 feet, so I'm kind of tall.
He's still shorter than me and way shorter than Doug McCusker, who might show up today. Let's hope so. All right, how you doing on the poker?
I'm doing good. We are about even, down like 15, which is honestly pretty good to start. So we'll see what happens. Let's see if we
He's
can make
not
some
doing
money.
as good as his buddies, but that's all right.
Are they up already?
They're already up. Let's go. All right, guys. We also got this guy here, Poker Beast. Make sure you look him up. Link
And I
down in
got
the
this
description
guy
below.
here, Happy Face Poker.
But more importantly, he was excited about getting hooked up with shots before the game.
Okay, cut. We're doing that again.
And Doug McCusker did make an appearance with his beautiful wife, however, could not stick around to play and didn't bring Zeus. So we threw him out of the joint.
That thing's like beast right there. It's heavy.
Be sure to check out merchandise from all the vloggers you've seen on today's vlog. We all appreciate the support. All right, we've been doing double board, no limit Holdem $10 bomb pots every dealer change today. That means all players put $10 in the middle. There's no action until after the flop. The dealer puts out 2 boards. On this one from the cutoff and a very short $65 stack, we have 10-8 suited. We flop a flush draw on the top board and a gutter ball on the bottom board. I think with enough equity and a short stack, a jam is the right play here. After the action checks around to me, that's exactly what I do. I jam the rest of my stack. 2 players after me are going to call, and we're going to go to a run out. We drill our flush on the top board, and we totally brick the bottom board. One of the players shows a queen, and we ultimately chop this pot up. We play a few more orbits, and we lose 500 on the day playing in a meetup game, which is no surprise as I have yet to have a positive cash in one of these things. Maybe I shouldn't be pre-game drinking. We reload to 300 and we jump into the 2-5 game that the Bankroll challenge was built on and look down at our first playable hand. Pocket kings in the big blind. The low jack opened this one to 25 and I figured since we're only 60 big blinds deep in this game, let's bump it up a bit larger than 3x and we go for $90 hoping for a 4-bet jam out of him, but unfortunately, at the end of the day, he elects to lay it down. I guess he opened light from the low jack. In this one, we have 9-8 of clubs, and we open the action to $15 from under the gun, and the big blind will make the call. I'd like to study these hands as I vlog them, and this is a clear fold at 60 big blinds deep or bigger stacks, but we get lucky. We see an ace 3-4 2-diamond flop in this heads-up pot. When the big blind checks to me, being the pre-flop aggressor, I should have all the aces, and on such a wet board, I would bet them all, so I continue for 20, and he mucks almost instantaneously. Now on to the Happy Face Holdem hand, also known as the $1 billion hand in reference to a popular 50s game show called the $64,000 Question. And I'll beat the graying beard, this was a quarter century before my time. Someone once told me at the table he calls it the Impala in reference to the famed 1964 Chevy Impala. And that's how giddy I get sometimes when looking down at this hand, so I open the action to $15 from the cutoff. The big blind makes the call. Over to +1, he sees the great money odds he's getting and he puts in the extra chip for the call. So we'll go rolling to a 3-way flop of 8, deuce, ace with 2 clubs. Not a bad flop for the 2 clubs we're holding, and not surprising at all here, we get a +1 donk leading into us for 20 bucks. I make the overcall here, but I think a raise is okay as well. +1 did limp call pre, so he likely has a weak ace. Heads up to the turn, we get the queen of hearts. This time +1 slows down and checks to me. With my opportunity to represent a bigger ace, and still with a good draw, I see merit to both a check and a bet, but I elect to bet this one for 45, about half the pot, and then I'll get the job done. Of course I can't play 6-4 suited and semi-bluff and not show the table, so I table my hand and +1 says he had 5-7 of clubs. Glad we didn't get another club. This, my dear viewers, is why we don't play 6-4 suited, although it is our favorite hand. Six-handed in this next one, and we look down from +1 at the dreamy pocket rockets for the second time today. Being in early position, we open a bit larger to 25. Unfortunately, we won't get any action or added value from this premium, but this is number 20 we've played this uncracked, if my count's correct. It's kind of unreal. We're sitting in the big blind, +1, +2, and the cutoff all limped. The button raises this one to $15, and we peel back 8-9 suited, this time with a heart variety, and we opt to flat call. This probably leans more as a 3-bet hand in this scenario, but not sure I can pull the trigger to 3-bet it. Getting a great price, +1, +2, and the cutoff all make the call, so this is going to be a 5-way pot with $75 up for grabs. We flopped pretty well with 3-10, 3-2 hearts. Not thrilled it's a paired board given we're 5 ways, so I check and play and flow. The player in +2 leads into us for $25, even though the cutoff was the pre-flop aggressor, so more donk betting here. The cutoff makes the call. I call hoping to turn a heart, and the +1 player calls. Now 4 ways to a turn with 150 in the middle. The deck double pairs the board. What a terrible card. I check and essentially will be folding to any further betting action, but the action checks through. So we see a free card on the river, which is the 8 of spades. Although we now have 2 pair, we're not committing even $1 to this pot. Action checks through once more, and one of the player rolls over a full house, as expected. The next playable hand we look down at is from +2 with Cowboys. The +1 player to my right cold opened to 10x, which is huge for this game. Not expecting anyone after me to make the call, I decide to try to get stacks in now, and I jam for 250 effective, figuring if he has any type of strong hand, he'll commit the rest of his stack. The action folds back around to him, and he immediately folds. Alright, last hand for this vlog, and we get dealt ace-queen off from the hijack. The same player to my right from the last hand once again opens huge to $50, 10x again. I could raise again and put him to the test, but after the last time he did this, I kind of think he's a little stronger this time, knowing I'm capable of jamming on him, so I play this one a bit cautiously and just flat. To my surprise, the cutoff flats as well, and onto the small blind, who also overcalls, closing the action. So 4 ways with a pre-flop bloated pot of $200, we see a nasty flop of 6, 10, 8 with 2 diamonds. The low jack, he wastes no time and he jams $500 for the rack. Now I've said before that this screams weakness in most cases to me, but this time I tank. I have the ace of diamonds, but it's not like I can bluff him off the hand now because he's committed all his chips. In the unfortunate event that he has ace-king, I'm dominated, and aces, kings, and queens are still pretty far ahead on this flop. So, given all that information, we have to make the fold. Let me know in the comments what you think. What would you do in this spot? We played for a bit longer, and after a long day of playing poker and enjoying the boys from Next Gen and Wofgang Poker at the Meetup Game, we rack up and we're going to book a loss.
All right, guys, that wraps the 5-day staycation 3K bankroll challenge. It was really a fun challenge. Here's the numbers at the end of day 5. So kind of mixed. So 692 profit if we don't take into account the little meetup game we played here today with Wofgang and the Next Gen boys. But 192 if we take that into consideration. So that was really a grind for 5 days of poker. So what did I learn? 5 days of play in 1 week is too much for me. As you saw by day, by day 4, I really loosened my game and did not stick to the strategy at hand, which I think just came from the extended hours of play that I was playing. And mostly what I learned is I respect all you grinders out there that are out there trying to make a go and doing this for a living. I have a lot of respect for you guys. So anyways, really enjoyed the challenge. I'm looking forward to doing another one. And soon not the next vlog, but 2 vlogs after that will be the meetup game we did with Brad Owen and Andrew Nemi. That was a lot of fun too. So stay tuned to the channel for that one. Can we mix it up with Brad Owen? And Brad, did you give Fish a shout out? That's the big question. And we're gonna drop a new video here in a few days. It's gonna be a special one without any poker. You guys really crushed it on this video for me. You gave me over 500 likes and over 7,000 views, and I'm so grateful for that we're gonna do a giveaway here on the channel. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna be giving away some Happy Face Holdem merchandise, some swag, and we have another announcement that will go with that. So stay tuned for that. So thanks guys for being here as always. I'll catch you on the next one, and don't forget, wash your hands.